We're going to start from the one group and go around and kind of discuss the item that they had and just kind of listen. We'll just stay where you are so you don't move. So the group one, they had when will my child move up? I think they have everything. That is so common. Do you guys get that all the time?
Yes.
I mean, why do we work our roundups? They already have it. That's my next step. That's going to be my Anita to know. Okay, so what would group one say? Does anybody want to step up out of the group?
I thought we kind of reviewed it all, I mean, basically the front desk would try to give them the explanation of, well, they'll start moving up when the child has a skill. The teacher can give you a move-up slip. If you feel at any time that maybe your child is ready, you're always free to talk to the teacher. We will talk to the teacher for you. And if they're not ready, if they're not quite ready, then we give them open gym slips, like you're saying, to practice. Come in and see.
The desk wouldn't know if they're ready,
Yeah.
so you would have to do that communication. The coach would already know, so it might be a little different if they think they're not ready.
And if it's not age appropriate, if
And
it's
then
a
what were you
talk.
just going to say? You were just going to say,
Well, depending on the level, she was just saying, I'm not sure what you're from. You can actually invite somebody in for open gym and show them that even if they think their checklist is complete, they really can't do the skill. So maybe they would have them come in and see that they really can't do the skill, whatever, the round off, or whatever the skill is. They would actually see that, so the parent is more aware.
that's good. And then the one thing that she said too, one thing that she could do too is they're needing their pullover, and we can give you. I'm going to give you 3. What did I give? 5 open gym slips to this girl who was really amazing on the floor but couldn't get her body over on the pullover. I said, why don't you come in and work extra on that? And so it really showed I was trying out. So she has 5 free open gyms.
But do you know that kid never came back? I don't know why, but because she.
Oh, heck, 5 free, I'm out of here.
Obviously
don't care about my daughter because they think she has to work.
And they don't want to be Excel and they quit our gym, but we think what's best for them. If they don't like it, we really want the best interest. So we try to work with them up until the point where it doesn't work. So right. Okay, group 2 is want to make the Olympics one of their chances of making it. How do you guys handle that?
There's only 7 people on the Olympics.
Wow, that's a really great goal. If you want to go to the Olympics, they must really love gymnastics.
That's a great response. Because you're at least acknowledging the goal and not saying, well, that's so stupid.
And then we say, well, first we're really working with them on some short-term goals as far as what we're working on in class and things like that. And then we say, now that gymnastics is really hard to make the Olympics, there's so much more opportunity as far as shows or college scholarships or even a career in coaching and other opportunities, not just the Olympics.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
it's great time management, shaping them as a person working on.
Right, and on the lower preschool level, we always try to say, doesn't matter what sport your kid goes in, this sport's going to help them in every sport because it's coordination, strength. So we try to say that. Okay, so the gymnast keeps looking at the viewing room to look at their parents, anxious about pleasing them and watching them. So do you address that? Sometimes we don't, but what would you guys come up with?
Yeah, it's mostly if they're doing that, they're probably not educated on the safety aspect of it. So, for one, with their kid not focusing on the coach, and things going around them, it's not safe for them. And plus, they're not really getting the most out of their class because the parents paying for them to, be here with the coach. So if they're more focused on the parent, that they're not getting, everything they could be getting out of class. So just kind of educating them on. The positive, we're glad that you're supporting them and you're engaging with them. Right. But we really want them focused, on the teachers so they're learning things safely and they're, engaged in class.
That's good, and you're showing you care, and also it's about interacting to build the relationship with that parent because you don't know what that stress is that's there. Maybe, I don't know, their whole life depends on their kid moving up to Excel Silver and that, I don't know, who knows what stress is going on and what's being developed in their brain. You get to know them, and that might help the kid. 2 kids are hitting each other and fighting in class. What do you say to the parents?
let's see, we talked to them about talking to the kids first and making sure that we're reinforcing, first of all, that it's a team and that we're all in this together. Here are the rules, we keep our hands to ourselves. And then going out and having them talk with their parents as well as we talk with our parents and say, we spoke about the rules, you want to tell mom what we talked about? And speaking with it, just making sure the parents know exactly what those rules are and saying, and we can practice these things at home, maybe even finding out if they're having these troubles at home. And sometimes parent will say, yeah, go ahead, work on it in here, please.
Yeah,
so,
that's
you might
great.
find out that this is helping with something on a bigger scale.
Yeah, or another way, you can just get the favor from those two and teach him a couple of the kids, so he can once and be done.
There it
Well done. Good save.
It's talking to the kids. So let me tell you one mistake we've made with this. And the parents really upset. Well, we brought him out today and he didn't get a stamp because he was hidden. Guess what that did? Only created animosity and anger. So this punishment thing, you're trying to show that this kid's a work in progress and you're trying to educate them and improve them. You're not trying to show them, and they were bad. I'm a PPO, I'm a problem pointer outer. I found the problems. And look at me, I get a gold star because I saw those two kids hitting each other and that's bad. I found it. Give me a gold star. Because that's kind of what you're showing to them. You want to show, I'm trying to help this little kid and not hit each other because it's not, it's the rules and it's bad. It wouldn't feel good if all these things you're trying to help them. Got all that. All right. Number 5, the parent is negative about their kid's performance. What do you tell them? So sometimes this can be like, especially at a competition, kid comes off the floor and they're like, yeah, she did terrible. I'm just so disappointed in them. What do? I mean, say something to them.
I don't know, my voice is bad, but I think if you ask more questions about it and not focus on the negative, sometimes they just don't know or don't have certain information that you do. So explaining them what happened or asking more questions, why are you asking that, what did you see, and then really just communicating, the positive and always. I really don't focus on their negativity. I just go, oh, but she did so well on this, and she's working really hard. She achieved that goal of doing this. So the focus on the positive counteracts the negative.
That's right.
So if the parent is negative, he'll think, oh, she's right. She's doing good. Besides what happened or. On the negative.
So on that, on building on that, sometimes a parent is very judgmental about their kid, and she just falls off the beamer. Try to get them empathetic. Hey, have you ever tried to compete a beamer team in front of the judges in pressure situation? Do you know what that feels like? Do you know how nerve-wracking that is? We're working with them to get confident, but if they're nervous about how you're going to react, that's going to make it worse. It's going to be harder for them. So you want to try to get them empathetic towards their kid. Can you put yourself in their shoes? Because it's really easy to be the judge. Yeah, I can see what everybody else does wrong. You're so superior. Can you do it yourself? Are you this great? Whatever. You might have been. Okay, whatever. Just because. Okay, but number 6, the 3-year-old is not listening in class at all. What do you say to the parents? How did they behave at the end of class? How were they?
So, since I'm a top teacher, I have had this happen several times, and sometimes they'll say, oh, how are they? I'm like, well, little Monica had a little hard time listening in class today, so maybe there's something that she really, really enjoys at home. Maybe she likes Moana or some movie or something, and that maybe we can help to incorporate just something like, oh my gosh, you look just like Moana today. What's the song? Oh, what's the characters? Or, I haven't seen it, but like Frozen. We sometimes talk about Frozen or something like that. And it really draws them back into the class. Sometimes I'll say to the parent, oh, maybe we can just really talk about, we need to listen, and they can reiterate it at home. But I know that Cassie has always said, if somebody's not listening, you need to wear them out. So sometimes we'll run around the gym, be in airplanes, or we're hopping like kangaroos, or we're doing something, and you're trying to wear them out. So when they do sit to do the bar station, that they're not wanting to jump around and run around because they're a little bit tired.
We always talk about that. Don't sit there and lecture a 3-year-old. Now, listen, you're not sitting. Sit. Now you gotta listen. You've gotta, nope, we're not gonna start until you're, that just doesn't work. Just get them moving, running around. I said, sometimes spin them in a barrel. Just get them. Make them busy, make them grow up, make them run around, whatever it is. All right, and the last one. My child can already do their wrong up in handstand. Why do you guys keep working on things they already have? Silly. Why do you work plies in belly?
We talked about first complimenting their round off and handstand and saying that they're doing a great job. I really like how they kick over the top and their handstand, their arms are really straight. And then give them a quick education of these are basic skills, and I'm sure you've watched the Olympics, and if you've ever seen them do a handstand, because if you get too technical, parents don't know what you're talking about, but they pretty much have all seen the Olympics. Have you seen them do a handstand on the bar? That's why handstands are incorporated throughout their gymnastics career, and a round off as well. It's very important. So what I'd like Sarah to do is practice keeping her ribs in on the wall, and she can practice that at home. So give them a compliment, give them a quick education on something that they could probably relate to, which is probably some gymnastics they've seen later, probably on TV. And then give them something that they could work on safely at home.
Excellent.
It has to be very quick explanation because of the simplest question. You do not want to make it a big discussion and make it for 15, 20, 30, even more minutes because it's going to keep going and going. So try to be dry, fast, and specific on what you want.
Dry doesn't fall into the.
I mean short.
And you said positive.
Very positive. It has to be very positive on everything. Whatever questions are, everything starts with positive.
Very good. All right, you guys, we're gonna go back, try to put our seats kind of back for Wendy's next one, and then we're gonna just talk about 8, 9, and 10, and then we'll go on to Sorry. I could hurry. Just kidding, I'm gonna be out block. And I just want to really go over that because that's I think the air went off. Fear that is, sometimes it's rational because they fall, but the harder one is when it's not rational and it's really stress and anxiety. This has to be done through reducing pressure. That's the only way that's ever worked. And when the parent's doing pressure and the coach is doing pressure, it just makes it doubly hard. So you really want to educate parents as much as you can on those fears, and especially irrational ones that it takes time to do when they're ready. And maturity cures every fear. Might be after they're supposed to be done with gymnastics, but eventually they would cure it. I promise. Every fear, but it has to go through maturity, and they all do it at different rates. problems or anger issues, you talk about it to the parent to try to help them. Instead of, trying to scold them. And then you guys have this where parents don't want to come the required days and times, and they have an issue with that. So I try to educate them, and then I always go, but here's your choice. Because if you want to do this program here, you don't have to do those things. But if you want to do this one, you have to do that because of the safety and the this and the, and I'm on your side. I want to give you what you want.
When there's
But-
a mom, they want to come to class.
Right, but-
Dad has them, they won't bring them.
But here's the choice. And you can go above and beyond, make exceptions and all that, make your life really difficult in us. Our special exception list is massive. Now, Darla has a list that's special exception list. It's massive. And it's this family's divorce and this family, but we're trying to give them this customer service. Sometimes they don't appreciate it, you feel like you shouldn't even be doing it.
Without compromising everything.
Yeah, we don't want it to compromise, you can't compromise all your values. But if you can give them that special exception and it doesn't screw up your whole system, then that's so much better. All right, Wendy is gonna start now. All right, let's see.
So,
Let's see if I can find this thing.
hi, I'm Wendy. I'll give you a quick background. I was a college gymnast in Reno for 10 years, level 10. Then I've been teaching and coaching for over 25 years. I've had the opportunity to coach different places and actually travel to Moscow when they were training the Olympians for the Olympic year. And like Cassie, my philosophy as a coach has definitely evolved through the years. And being in those experiences, watching, girls train in Moscow with bloody legs climbing ropes and shoes getting thrown at them versus our Olympians who train in a healthy environment and we can still do very well in the Olympics. I have had a lot of philosophical changes, and I'm excited to present some things. As a teacher, now I'm an administrator in school, and I'm going to be talking about SMART goals. It's a different type of mindset Cassie was talking about with students, and it's about students actually partnershiping with their coach all the way up from 4 years old to 18 and setting goals. And it's amazing. I did this presentation about 4.5 years ago to over 80 individuals at my school, and they looked at me with their mouths open in a kids can't do that fashion, that that's not possible and kids can't set their goals, kids can't have a conversation, kids can't set a goal daily and reach it and tell you that they can reach it. And I'm here to tell you that they can. And I have 5-year-olds as I walk through my hallways in school tell me what their goals are and that when they have reached them and what their next goal is. So it's been a really interesting thing, and with my staff we always have an aha moment and a pay it forward. So before we start my presentation, I want you to think of something aha that Cassie has taught you. Raise your hand. You're going to get 2 bottles of ice cold water, SMART water, because I'm doing SMART goals. And then you're going to give it to one individual that you do not know because you're going to pay it forward. So anybody have a few aha moments before we start? Something that Cassie, when you went, oh man, aha, maybe I can improve that. Aha. What do you think? Yes.
It doesn't matter what you said or how you said it, it matters how they felt.
Beautiful. And then pay it forward to someone else. Okay, who else? I like that. An aha, like, oh man, if I just incorporate that one thing. You're lucky I'm not making you stand and dance. Yes.
Yes, as a coach, I'm an encourager. But I think that can translate into every aspect of your life. As a coworker, you're an encourager. You're just an encourager in your life.
I like that. As a mom, as a coworker, or anywhere you're going, I like it. And pay it forward to someone you don't know. Hey, someone else, an aha moment. Yes.
Jessie!
No one's toes got hurt just now.
focus of any, whether you're a coach, the front desk, an owner, anyone in the gym, you have to maintain positivity. Always greet people, and I think when people see that, they're greeted and there's a smile, they go in and they just feel a little better. So I always agree with that.
There's a saying, I always say it, everyone's heard it 1,000 times, but attitude is contagious, is yours worth catching. It's in my office, I walk into it every day and then it makes me smile. Especially when I'm dealing with a kid that I'm about ready to suspend. Attitude is contagious. How do I help this kid become better? Because that's our ultimate goal. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more. Ahas, anybody else? Yes.
Improving the situation. We always have examples of, well, this is the way we always do it. And like, why? Sometimes the way you always do it is just a terrible way to do it and it doesn't work, and there's better ways to do it and you never thought about it. So we've had a few examples where we've had that situation come up, but we've just always done it this way, and that's not the right way. We're making some changes. Think about it.
Okay, for someone you don't know. 1 more. Yeah. It's someone you know. That's not paying it forward. You know your friend. Okay.
Collaborating was like the biggest thing, especially like Cassie kind of already said it with Excel. Like the one day we worked with the boys and 3 girls got new skills. Like collaborating is so important. Collaborating communication just changes everything and it helps everyone progress.
TOTS teachers are the best with behaviors too. So.
Hey, Wendy, and elaborating on the collaboration. Cassie, hold it off, man. I think about 80% of the kids collaborate.
That's huge. I agree.
That's really a big deal. Future.
Yeah, maybe in 10 years we're going Okay, should be coming.
Still buying? That one.
All right, so these are SMART goals. Understanding your athletes. What is a SMART goal? What does a SMART goal look like? How do I have kids understand and set their SMART goals? And how do I set SMART goals for myself? So we have a variety of life skills and a variety of gymnasts that we deal with every single day. Team, out loud, read these. So we have our what? Emotional and sensitive athletes. We have our we have our silly kids, right? We have our we have our I like that one. Right? How many of those, right? Shy, quiet, passive. So, with all these different personalities, with all these types of gymnasts in your class, we ask you to be the master. And that's a hard thing to do. Because with this new generation of kids and how gymnastics is looking and what Cassie's vision is to have those personal connections with every kid in your class. So keep calm. How do you do that? Keep calm, because there is a way and it is possible. But you need to know the force inside of you. You need to know where you excel. That was fun. And what is your stretch zone? Okay? Where do you excel at? What are your strengths? How do you interact with kids? What is your best personality quality? And then your stretch zone is what are your weaknesses? What behaviors does a kiddo exhibit that makes you go crazy? And you know that. And you go, okay, I need to back off, hold on, I know that this is going to drive me crazy. And what personal quality do you need to work on? So, the you will or else with the Darth Vader you must doesn't work anymore. That dark side approach is not effective. That environment is the number one outside variable that can hinder or help an athlete focus. So think about that for a second. That environment, when they walk into your class, your gym class, and how that environment is, can either hinder or help them focus more on their gymnastics and their life skills. So that is that welcoming. Are you happy to see your teacher? Are you excited to come in and see your coach? Are they greeting you with a smile, knowing that yesterday's workout, they stubbed their toe, they cried, they fell on the roundup, and they had a horrible workout. What's the next day bring? Are you like, oh no, here they come, right? Oh no, here comes Johnny, who doesn't listen and can't. Or that, Johnny, I'm happy you're here again today. So remember that environment. Because if you're the Darth Vader, you will. It won't. Caring, communication, and consistency will help that. Go ahead and read that. So, little Bud hasn't committed himself to the goal. He just can't seem to get that tree down. He only chews half of it down. So as a coach, you have to commit yourself to your kids to get them ready to go. So, SMART goals. What are they and what do they look like? SMART is an acronym. It stands for, I'll give you all the letters. S stands for specific. A specific part of the goal means it must be clear, focused, and understood. The goal is specific to each of their needs. So as a gymnastics coach, we all have goals for our kids. We all know what their goals are. But do those kids know what those goals are? How many of you have a goal for a kid to do a double back or a kid to make a kip? But is that the same goal as the child? Have you expressed that goal to that kid? How many of you have a goal that you have for an athlete that you want it more than they want it? So it has to be specific, and most of the time in SMART goals, specific means it's for the individual. It's not, we're all level 5s, and so we all need our kits. Because guess what? Maybe it's not a kit that they want their cartwheel. And so where is their focus? Try 5 kits, you go get to do your cartwheel. Or whatever that is. So it has to be specific to the individual. It can't be grouped. It has to be measurable. That's the end. So you either are tracking numbers, you're tracking the attendance, you're doing a self-evaluation. We'll talk more about what self-evaluation is for those kiddos. 5-year-olds can do a self-evaluation. An effort. How was your effort today? The newest thing in school is kids will take a test and they have to give their confidence level, 1 to 10. They have to give their effort level, 1 to 10 on computers. And they actually rate themselves, and 99% of the time, they're accurate. If they're not confident on that question, they probably didn't get it. So the kids know themselves, and they do a thumbs up, a thumbs sideways, quick and easy. But that is something measurable for the kids, and they can give you that information back. And do they understand that? How it's measured? Do they understand what drills to build them up to that? So it's the breakdown of the skills also in how that goal is measured, which we kind of talked about. But it's also tied to a life skill. So it can be specific to the student, measurable through numbers, but it can also be measurable through a life skill, perseverance, attitude, effort, those types of things. So that when you accomplish it, you can say, wow, I loved your work ethic. And they're learning a life skill as well as a gymnastics skill. I am so proud of you. You had perseverance. You fell 5 times, but now you did it. So you're learning life skills as well as gymnastics, and then your bonding. So that M is measurable. A, SMA, agreed upon. This is the biggest part because you actually have to have that conversation with an athlete. And we will talk a little bit later on, yes, it's a talk, and we do not have a 10-minute conversation. It's a 2-second conversation versus a team athlete where we sit down and say, hey, what are you really interested in, and what is your goal for this summer? What are some things that you're really looking forward to? Because what they're thinking and their mindset and where they're going might be completely opposite of your plan. And until that plan comes together, it's a big change because their work ethics and where their drive in coming to gym for improves, and it improves what they're actually going for. So agreed upon. First, it has to be safe. Will it improve my gymnastics or my life skill? Because some of you, it's a life skill that we're working on. I suck, I suck, I suck, I can't, I can't, I can't. Instead of in the mirror, I write 5 times before I come to gymnastics. I can, I can, I can. I will work on my positive attitude. So it could be a life skill. Valued and sought out by the individual, or you as the mentor, guide them and have a conversation with them of, wow, wouldn't you like to be that type of gymnast that when they walk off the floor, they don't cry at a meet? They're still proud of their accomplishments? You know, I've seen you get really upset before a meet and throw up maybe. You know, do you think that we could work on you feeling better when you go into meets? Oh yeah, I think that's a great goal. Let me try that. Or, wow, I see that you said you don't have very many friends because you in class all day. Would you like some more friends? Yeah, do you think that maybe if we kept our hands by our sides or in our pockets, if my mom brought you shorts that had pockets and you kept your hands in your pockets for a few minutes while you wait in line, that you make more friends? So it's got to be, you know, as a mentor, you can help them with those goals too. But it has to be agreed upon. Realistic is the R. It has to be worthwhile, it has to be the right timing, and once again, it has to be safe. They have to be able to achieve it not only mentally, but physically as well for that student. So that as well will guide you, and I'll give you some examples of realistic, of a student who wants to do a back handspring, but they really need to work on their bridge kick over left leg, bridge kick over right leg, and both feet before. But I love that back handspring idea. It's possible, but right now, let me break down your goal into these skills. Once again, the kid's mindset's here, great, but that's what you're the mentor and coach is for, to set those positive goals. So they have to be realistic. And T is timely. This is the most important one when we're dealing with kids and their ages, because nothing should be longer than 3 weeks. So a timely goal for a kid, athlete, for tots, classes, and teams, 3 to 4 weeks max for a skill, okay, and how you break it down. So let's give you a couple examples. Victoria. Victoria will practice 18 cartwheels on a line, 20 on a floor beam, and work towards making both feet on a cartwheel on a low beam by the next 3 weeks. So is it specific? It's Victoria. Is it measurable? Yes, she wants both feet on a beam. Is it, what's my A? Is it agreed upon? Yes, we would have already talked to her. Okay, realistic? Yes, it's possible. Timely? 3 weeks. Okay, so that's one of her goals. Today my goal is to straighten my legs on my pullover, doing 10 toe taps and a pike stretch every time I get off the bar. I will ask my coach to video it to see if my legs are straight. So that's how it's measurable. They're gonna have the video it to see if it's straight. And you're talking about it together, hey, today, you know, we should set a goal to see if you can get your legs straight. Do you think that's a good idea? Oh yeah, do. Try it, we video. Sarah will increase her numbers on bars and tally her turns on a board or a book to accomplish a 45-degree handstand in the next 2 weeks by asking the coach or a teammate to show her angle with a stick. Okay, so she's really eager to get this 45-degree pass. Can she have the coach or a teammate? Well, what if your teammate shows you? Then they're thinking about it. Their mindset is there. They're putting that effort in. They have a goal with you. You know their goal, and that's something that you guys can reach together. Brett will practice 12 pulls on a track, 12 on pebble track, and 12 on ski floor to work air awareness. He can do a pull. He has air awareness and confidence issues. He works on the next 2 weeks by a show of thumbs, up, sideways, or down, to communicate his confidence level. So how are your flyaways going today? Ooh, okay, confidence level. Or where are you at today with your folds? Did you see the ground before? Oh, yes. So he has a confidence level. It's between you two. You just go like this. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's do some more hacks. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Keep going. Okay. Tomorrow, let's do, you know, whatever that is. But you have that communication. My goal is to catch my releases by August 31st. What's so interesting is as we map these out on calendars with our older kids and gave them a timeline and they could see that, and then they could fill in the blanks of what they have done themselves, the personal responsibility was incredible. What the ownership of what they took when they set a goal was tenfold of what we thought they could do. And hardly anybody did not reach that part of a goal or redefine their goal to make a goal after they're finally, because they saw it mapped out. It was pretty amazing what we did with the kids just because of that mind focus and that collaboration together. It also had to do a lot with, for boys, a lot of the video games because of the levels and can they pass a level and can they do these types of things and set these goals. And it was so weird because they just want to pass, you know, whatever level, and so they set a goal in their video games and they got addicted to it. So the goal setting for the boys was a different type of mindset for them as well. My goal was to catch, no, I just have one. Oh wait, I was halfway there. Oh, this one is, so they did not, okay, so what if they don't make their goal? So my goal is to catch my release by August 31st by working extra drills on the tramp bar and taking 2 turns on a, oh, this one's still okay. Okay, in a row on the pit bar. I will monitor my progress with the number of touches or grabs during the week and working on confident, positive talk with my coaches and teammates. So this is more so, is their mindset maybe kind of negative, like every time they get off the bar, oh, or oh, that was horrible, I'm never gonna catch it, or it's the, oh, didn't we talk about, okay, I'm gonna get it, oh, I had 5 touches today, maybe I'll get 6 tomorrow, or oh, today wasn't as good, but, and they're really thinking about their mindset, and they're taking personal responsibility of it. Grace wants to make her back handspring, we kind of talked about that, in the next 2 weeks that was not very realistic, but she wanted to make her bridge together with both right and left hand feet together. So we don't ever kill their dream, like we just said to the Olympics, but we do say, okay, here's the drills and skills that you can make in the next 2 weeks for those types of skills. Your goal, and then tots, your goal today, and just using that word goal, your goal today is to come on the board with 2 feet. How do you know if you did it? Because this, you know, I can watch the springs bend, or I can see my 2 feet, or my friend can tell me 2 feet, or you can show me 2 on your hands. Whatever that is, but something really quick. And if you can ask the kid, how do you know, which is measurable, how do you know if you did it right? How can we see if you did it right? How can someone else tell if you did it right? Then they're really starting to think about not only the skill, but how is it measurable? How can other people see if they've done it or not? If you start to understand the mindset of your athlete, you can encourage them to set goals with you or by themselves. Some are as simple as, what do you want to learn today? What is your goal today? What do you want to improve? By asking athletes and helping them set goals, they will take more personal responsibility of their gymnastics and their life skills. Work ethic's a big one that we tie into all goal setting. Work ethic, personal responsibility, positive attitude. Because you can say, wow, you worked hard for that. It didn't go the way you wanted it to, but you had a great attitude today, and that was part of your life skill that you were working on. So, in these next few minutes, just with your partner next to you, I want you to think of one kiddo that maybe is having a hard time with some skills that you and your class sit down with, not sit down with, take about 30 seconds and say, hey, you know, hitting a wall with, and build that relationship with, and say, hey, what do you want to learn today? And maybe break it up into a skill. You have like 2 minutes. Go for it.